ये देख के मुझे काफ़ी डर तो लगा था क्योंकि इतनी रिपोर्टिंग नॉर्मली होती नहीं। आई थिंक फॉर माई टैग सेक्शन आई वाज बेसिकली गुड टू गो। द मोर थिंग्स द इंटरव्यूअर विल हैव टू आस्क यू हाउ गुड यू आर विथ योर टीम, विथ योर टीममेट्स। मुझे खुद को विश्वास नहीं हो रहा था कि मैं सही में रिकमेंड हो गया। कॉन्फिडेंस आया कि आई विल गेट रिकमेंडेड। Hello everyone, I am Ankit Tripathi. I got myself recommended from 18 SSB Allahabad for NDA course 150. Now today I am here to tell you about my 5 days SSB experience. Now if I talk about my first day, that is screening, a total of 101 people reported for the screening itself. ये देख के मुझे काफ़ी डर तो लगा था क्योंकि इतनी रिपोर्टिंग नॉर्मली होती नहीं। मेरे से पहले काफ़ी बैचेस थे, उनमें 60-70 थी, तो मुझे डर लग रहा था कि विल आई बी एबल टू मेक इट थ्रू फ्रॉम देम। तो सबसे पहले वी गॉट आवरसेल्फ ऑक्यूपाइड with our places, and then we had our OIR test. OIR test was basically very much easy, and it was basic reasoning only that anyone can do. Now after that we had our PPT in which a picture was shown to us. If I give you the fair idea what it was, then there were 4 people who were having helmet and they were taking some casualty to some place. This is what I perceived. तो इसके लिए the story that I came up with was that Abhinav was a person who was in NDRF team. Rather than going with some army person or any other thing, I chose it to be NDRF. So Abhinav was in NDRF who got to know about a fire broke out, and he went there with his whole team, and somehow I tried to add on few good points. And when I narrated the story, now narration is the major portion, that is what I think. So my narration was basically very good because you have only 1 minute and you have to give your best shot in those 1 minute. So I gave my best. Now after my narration I was pretty confident that yes, my group members now identify me as a good potential member. तो उसके बाद जब ग्रुप डिस्कशन हुआ तो उसके अंदर कहीं ना कहीं मेजर आइडिया ऑफ द स्टोरी वॉज रिवॉल्विंग अराउंड माई स्टोरी ओनली। तो मुझे कहीं ना कहीं इससे हेल्प हुआ, एंड मुझे इसके बाद भरोसा तो हुआ था कि कहीं ना कहीं आई विल गेट थ्रू दिस स्क्रीनिंग, एंड आई वॉज अंडर द कंसिडरेशन ऑफ माई असेसर्स। ऑल्दो डर तो रहता है क्योंकि फियर इज ए नेचुरल फिनोमिना। देन आई गॉट माई सेल्फ स्क्रीनड इन, माई चेस्ट नंबर वॉज 35 ड्यूरिंग द टाइम ऑफ स्क्रीनिंग। नाउ आफ्टर दैट वी हैड आवर psychology test on the second day. उसके लिए the preparation that I did in Centurion Defence Academy helped me a lot. It was pretty normal thing only because there is no actual physical contact of you with any kind of assessor. तो तुम्हें डर नहीं लगता है कहीं ना कहीं। तो the more you have practiced, the more you have done the practice, the better you will be performing in your psychology test. That is a basic idea. TET में 11 stories थी। मैंने काफ़ी हद तक उससे अपने PIQ से रिलेट किया। कुछ स्टोरीज मैंने मुझे लगता है मैं थोड़ी गलत कर दी थी, पर ओवरऑल इट वाज ए गुड एफर्ट फ्रॉम माई साइड फॉर दोज 11 स्टोरीज। नाउ फॉर 12 स्टोरीज आई गेव माई पर्सनल अचीवमेंट दैट वाज ऑफ माई स्कूल ओनली। तो आई थिंक फॉर माई टैग सेक्शन आई वॉज बेसिकली गुड टू गो। नाउ फॉर वैट आई हैड अ वेरी गुड प्रैक्टिस ऑफ वैट. What I used to do was as I had this book Raniti, so what I did was मैं इसके words note down करता था, and I used to write down the sentences. सिर्फ 5-10 सेकंड में नहीं, I used to take my time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So कई बार ऐसा होता था कि I used to take around 10 minutes also for a particular word because I used to get stuck after half an hour or 1 hour. तो कहीं ना कहीं after like practicing for like hundreds and 200s of words, तो यू गेट ए फेयर आइडिया कि तुम्हें अप्रोच कैसे करना है. कोचिंग हेल्प यू टू आइडेंटिफाई द बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर, बेसिक अप्रोच ऑफ द साइकोलॉजी टेस्ट. और SRTs में भी मैंने यही किया था. विथ प्रैक्टिस आई वाज एबल टू attempt like 45 SRTs, and for VET I attempted 59 SRTs. I missed on one only. Or SDB, my SD was prepared by me only, and some little bit of editing was done by Shishir sir. So I think for psychology factor I was pretty much confident that I will do good. Now coming to my interview part, what I basically think is the better you are with, the handy you are with your English, the good you will do in your interview. Now my PIQ was also very much highlighted because I am from Rashtra Military School Ajmer. So I had participated in many co-curricular activities. I had participated in many sports events. So I had things to speak about in my interview. And in this way, I think it helped me a lot. Moreover, as I was from RMS Ajmer, so half of my interview, I will say more than half of my interview went upon this thing only. Now, इससे मुझे the basic idea that I would like to tell you is the more interesting person you tend to become, the better your interview will go. The more things the interviewer will have to ask you, because कई बार क्या होता है कि after just 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, the interviewer is done with his questions of your interrogation. Then the last option that he has is to ask you questions of general awareness. Now they may help you, but what I think is SSB not a test of your intelligence, it is rather a test of your intellect. So and intellect, you should have a good self understanding of yourself. तो इसके लिए the more interesting person you try to become, the more capable person you tend to become, the better interview will go. There were certain times wherein I was unable to answer to some questions. I simply said, sorry sir, I will try to find it out, and it was very much okay. Now the only suggestion from my side for you people is, for interview try to be the same person as you are and you will do good. PIQ में give your best shot, try जो भी तुमने जो तुम्हारे achievements है, real achievements, try to highlight them and try to get a better understanding, good understanding of what it really was. Now coming to my GTO portion, तो कहीं ना कहीं मुझे ऐसा लगता था कि फट्टा वाली चीज़ में मैं उतना अच्छा नहीं हूँ, तो इसके लिए मैंने जो GD और GP हुई तो उसके अंदर मैंने आई गेव माई बेस्ट शॉट. उसमें कहीं ना कहीं आई वॉज अंडर अ वेरी गुड कंसिडरेशन ऑफ माई असेसर्स. तो और ऊपर से इसमें इफ़ यू परफॉर्म गुड देन यू गेट मीन्स योर teammates start to recognize you as a potential member. तो कहीं ना कहीं they tend to get inclined towards you for other stuffs. And GTO is basically that only, that how good you are with your team, with your teammates. तो GD और GP में I had a good impact over everyone. और उसके बाद PGT HGT में ideas were coming to me और I was just going on with my ideas. ऐसा कई बार था I was struck also. I was not the one who was leading my group, but I was the one who was basically giving the ideas throughout. In the first phase only, my group got stuck, and then I helped my group to cross it. तो कहीं ना कहीं मुझे लगा कि I am getting very relevant ideas. कई बार ऐसा होता है you may have ideas but they are not relevant ones. They are not the ones that may be feasible. At that time you should analyze the situation that whether you should speak about it or not. क्योंकि कई बार क्या होता है, you get the opportunity but the moment you try to do something to it, you sometimes screw things up, and that is the time that is very wrong, because as an individual if you do such kind of things in GTO then it gives a very wrong impression to the assessors. Now after this for my individual obstacles I did 13, and that was the highest in my group and the whole SSB of 18 SSB Allahabad. At that time I did 13 individual obstacles, that was the highest. For my command task I was basically given a mind diffusion thing. So it was basically a circular obstacle when there was an object placed in the middle and I had to turn it upside down. So what I personally felt was, the better you will perform, this is what many say this is a myth, many say this is true, but this is what I felt. The better you perform throughout your GTO, the more the GTO assessor is interested in you. He's likely to find out that how good you are to perform in a very typical situation. So he tends to give you a very hard one. Mine was normal, so I think it was okay from his side. So these were the three things, that is psychology, interview and GTO that I had. Now if I talk about my last day conference, then it was pretty normal. My chest number was 35 and there were 43 screened people. So he started calling out them from the last one, that is from 43. So 36 went in and he came outside after just 2 minutes and he was a recommended chap. So I was called just within 2 minutes. So कहीं ना कहीं मुझे भी confidence आया कि I will get recommended, because I had performed fairly well and I was having this confidence. But still, at the back of your mind you have this doubt that whether you will do it or not. I went in, he asked me simple question that, Ankit, what do you think about your performance? I simply said, sir, I gave my best shot and I am hoping for the best result. So he said, okay Ankit, any sessions? I said, no sir. Then he said, okay, you may go. I thanked him and I went from there. When the results were being announced, I was glad that the officer who was announcing it, he took my chest number. For a second I was stunned that yes, it is my chest number only, because from past 7 years I was thinking of this particular thing only. So जब ऐसा in reality it happened, I was pretty numb and shocked for next 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I was not able मुझे खुद को विश्वास नहीं हो रहा था कि मैं सही में रिकमेंड हो गया हूँ, क्योंकि कहीं ना कहीं you don't expect such kind of things to happen like this. You may have faith in yourself, but that is something that I can't describe in my own words, and this is what I felt for my 5 days SSB experience. Thank you and Jai Hind.